Matt, you guys were never able to play with the lead. You never even had the ball when you were tied today. What kind of pressure did that put on you, always having to play from behind today?
Well, I think the offense responded well in the first half. I think it's a tale of two tapes for us offensively. We went out and performed really well and executed well in the first half, and then the second half, we started off with a good drive, and then from there it was pretty much downhill. I think we got ourselves in some third and long situations. We had some turnovers, some unfortunate plays. So, we just have to continue to remain consistent throughout the entire game, and so there's going to be days like that where the defense plays lights out and we're off, and we need to pick them up, or they need to pick us up. And then there are days like today where we competed and we were trying to pick them up in the first half, and then we've got to do a better job in the second half.
Well, what happened at that point was you pretty much had your way in the first half, and all of a sudden second half was just a totally different story. Did they do anything, or was it just miscommunication with the Chiefs offense?
Right. I just think that they outplayed us in the second half, and again, we had the turnovers, and I think that anytime you have turnovers, the first one's the tip, the first one's a strip sack, the second one's the tip, and then the third one's me trying to force a play, make a play, and do something that's just stupid at that point in the game. You got to throw it away, punt the ball, and move forward.
And I understand it's never ideal for a quarterback or an offense to be playing down like that. And I feel like you got to do a whole lot. But how comfortable do you feel in that role? Playing from behind, coming back in that situation. Are you feel calm? And what's generally the way you go about that mentally?
I really, as I tell the guys, and I continue to remind myself, you just got to take it one play at a time, because you're never out of the ball game, and you just always have to continue to execute one play at a time, because when you start getting ahead of yourself and start worrying, you make plays like I did, and when you're pressing, you get pressure, and then all of a sudden you throw it back across your body, which you just can't have. But at the same time, for the most part, I think throughout the course of the day, even when you are down, you just continue to go forward and execute the offense.
What was Romeo's message in the locker room after?
Well, his message is clear. It's only one game in a long season, and we've got to obviously make a lot of corrections. We've got to get better as a football team. We've got to play collectively, and so that was his message to the team. And the thing is, we've got a lot of resilient guys in there we're going to get back to work, and we're going to get this thing fixed.
A couple more guys.
It seemed the momentum all shifted with the missed field goal. They hit off the upright, and just then they take the ball down and they score at that point. How much did you feel when that ball missed that you might be in a bad situation?
At that point, I really wasn't thinking it was a bad situation for us. I just thought that offensively, like you saw in the first half, we did a great job. We're moving the ball up and down the field, and we started the second half strong. And then as we started to move forward, we had the two turnovers those next two series, and that's really what hurt us.
Only 23 rushes for Jamal and Peyton combined. Peyton just had 7 rushes. Is that just the product of being down big? And how much tougher is it for the offense when you can't really run the ball?
Well, I didn't know those stats. I don't really know. I guess you're going to have to ask Coach Dayball of what his philosophy exactly is when it comes to playing from behind and running versus passing. And I think, anytime you get into one of those situations, you just you have to go with the feel. And you saw us go into no huddle and try to up tempo them and move the ball a little bit more.
All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.